Hello everyone! I'm going to show you how to adjust the brightness and contrast of a photo using Photoshop. Let's get started. First of all, let's open an image. You could click the Open button here or go to File, Open. I'm going to navigate to my Google Drive, then go to My Drive, and I have a bunch of photos in my photo folder, and here are my photos for demos. I'm going to choose these bleeding hearts right here. It's a type of flower. And this photo, it looks a little dull, and I think that it could use some adjustments. So over here in the panels area, if you look at layers, and then you can see your photo here, go down to the bottom and you can see this menu here that is a half white, half black circle. If you click this, it opens a list and choose brightness and contrast. There is another way to do that. You can click this adjustments tab here, and brightness and contrast is also available right here. So you can access that either way. So you can see that I have now a adjustment layer over my background. So in order to see how I can change this, I need to go to the Properties panel. And the brightness is just what it says. If I move it this way, the slider this way, it will get much brighter. And if I move it this way, the photo will get much darker. And the default is 0, so I'm going to put that back on 0. Here's the contrast. What the contrast does is makes more contrast or less contrast between the light and dark areas. So when I move the slider all the way over to 100, it increases the contrast between the lights and darks. And when I move the slider the other way, it decreases the contrast and makes the photo look dull. So let's set that back to 0. So this photo needs just a little bit of adjustment to make it really pop. So I am going to increase the brightness, and I'll increase the contrast some. So what I want is to see detail in the areas of the flower. I want to see the veins. I want the colors to be brighter, but I don't want to overdo it. So I think that this looks pretty good. So I have 25 for brightness and 17 for contrast. And for every photo, those values could be really different. Now you may sometimes want to purposely make something look artistic. So perhaps let's put the contrast really high and then make the brightness high too. So you might like this look for a particular reason. That's also an option. You don't always have to go for realism. All right, so I can't remember what my values were, but I think it was like 17 and 20 or something like that. So let me set that back. And if we look down here at the layers, you can see that if you want to see a before and after, you can turn off the visibility icon, which is an eyeball, and you can see what the photo looked like before, so kind of dull, and then turn it on and you can see the brightened up version. So I will now save this by going to File, Save As. I have two options here, Save to Cloud or Save to your computer. I'm going to choose that one, Save to your computer. And the title of it, I'm going to change it because I want to save my original photo, image number 53, because I might want to use it for something later, and I don't want these changes to be permanent. So I'll call this brightness contrast. Then I have to choose what file type. And the majority of the time, your projects will be saved as JPEGs, unless it's a complex project or a project that you need to work on for more than one day. in which case you would save it as a Photoshop document so that you would have the layers intact. So now pay attention to where you're saving it to. I can see up here that it's going back into my photo folder, into this folder called Photos for Demos. So I'll go ahead and click Save, and I get a window that pops open asking me what quality, and I'm going to go ahead and stick with kind of an average quality, which is 8, and click OK on that. Next thing that you need to do is turn that in to Google Classroom. So here's all my classes in Google Classroom, and Ms. Morrow has made me a student in one of her classes so that I can demonstrate how to turn things in. So I'm going to go to Classwork and find the, okay, so here it's called Photo P tutorials. Yours will be called Photoshop tutorials. And I'll pretend that this is the project. So I'll open that up, view assignment, and then add or create. Go to Google Drive. And because I just did this recently, it should be in the recent category. And there it is right there. But if you did it a few days ago, you might have to click Drive and then go back and find it in your folders. So I will click this image and then click Insert, wait for it to upload, and as soon as it's finished, I will click the Turn In button and then confirm that I want to turn it in and turn in. Now that is submitted. That's it for this video.